Hey everyone, Techman here, also known as Matthew Rivera, and today I have my big old freaking computer right in front of me, and today we're going to be pretty much changing this out, and I'll explain why after this. I have my computer here. As you can tell, this is not my 3080 Ti. This is the MSI Gaming Trio GeForce RTX 4090. I purposely got this because of video editing, and it works wonders. And along with everything else, it's beautiful. But pretty much, I'm replacing my motherboard. I'm replacing my motherboard because if I remove my graphics card here, which I have to do anyways, pretty much you just pull up like this, like that. Then there's a tab right here that you pull, but you need to remove these screws, and also there is this bracket here that holds this thing up. So all you'll need is a screwdriver to undo all these screws here. And there's a tab right here. I don't know if y'all can see it. Press this in like this, and this thing should pop out like this, and here it is. This is a very thick graphics card right here. But as you can see right here, there's this little tiny card right here, which I already undid. Let's pull this. So this is a Ethernet PCIe card. I blew this thing out once before because all the dust and everything, and what ended up happening is the Ethernet port, one of these, I think might be this one. Yeah, it's this right here. The Ethernet port on this box here just stopped working. I'm assuming the moisture from the air compressor got in, so I learned my lesson from that. Also, I have this. This is my Elgato 4K 60 Pro. I did an unboxing of this. You can check it out. I think it's there or here. I think I'm right here. I might be wrong. But I did review this, so you can check out that video. But pretty much, it's supposed to go right here. And my 3080 Ti would fit right here perfectly, but with the 4090, it covers this completely. So for months, I haven't been able to use this. So this is when I got this as a Christmas gift. So that motherboard will literally fit my 4090, everything I have here, and more. So pretty much this board is going into retirement. So here is the motherboard. Pretty much you could tell it's sort of the exact same thing, but just a little bit nicer looking. And also you have a big gap here, right here. But I won't be able to use this port, but I'll be able to use this port for the 4K 60 Pro. Comes with everything that I need for everything. It has Type C here. We're going to get started with moving this. So this is the motherboard. It's very beautiful, and you have all these inputs and outputs. Mainly what caught my eye is the actual USB ports, because you have 3.0 and then you have, I believe it's 10. You have a bunch of USB ports, and I appreciate that a lot. And I'm not going to show much of this box here because most of it had the actual serial numbers of the actual motherboard, so I'm like, nope, don't want y'all to see that. But this does give you a manual as well for everything that you need to hook everything up, which helps a lot. And under this, you have many cables here and there as well. But here is the Wi-Fi. I do not use that. So now I'm going to be removing the motherboard here. There's a couple of screws as well that you have to remove, but also there is there's connections that you have to remove from the board itself. So like there is the SATA, there's power, there is the CPU power for that, there is the AIO cooler, there's the audio things you have to remove. There's a bunch of other things you have to remove, including the buttons of the chassis that's connected at the bottom of the motherboard. There is so much you have to unplug to make sure everything is set and ready to go. But you'll see in a few seconds that the CPU actually got stuck to the actual pump bottom head of the AIO. Pretty much what happens is over time it gets reheated, heated, and it sort of just almost just sticks like glue in a way. And I couldn't pull it off. And I ended up pulling it off out of the motherboard, and thank goodness I didn't damage anything, but it is not cool how it was removed. There was thermal paste on the sides and everything, so I think when I installed this pump, I used too much thermal paste. So later on in the video, you'll see me add an X in the center, and it's not much, but it's enough for it to spread evenly. And I didn't add too much thermal paste, so I guarantee if I remove this, I'll be able to just remove it completely. So while doing research for this motherboard, I really wanted the layout of the screws to be the same. I didn't want to change anything like that. I didn't want the motherboard to be different. Nothing. It's beautiful. The board is beautiful. The screws and everything sort of line up with how it used to be. So the board is not as big. But it's nice to have a much more high-end motherboard capable of doing a little bit more things, and it's been a really good board. I thoroughly enjoy it so far. So as you saw, see how it just came apart, and then I pried it with a plastic tool. It literally was just covered in thermal paste all over the place. And then I take the backing plate out because the board technically doesn't even need a backing plate. But you're seeing me put the SSDs in, and that's the little screws that you use to put it on, use the SSD mountings to place it on. For the NVMe Gen 3 one, which is where I store games, that didn't come with a heatsink, and the one that I'm currently removing is for like Gen 4. So the Samsung 990 Pro that is there is going to be placed there, and I'm placing the thermal paste under that, as in the thing I'm removing has a removable thermal, and I just place it on so it can protect it from heat and help with heat dissipation. guys, everything that I'm doing currently is super simple. You're basically just transplanting and just removing things to another. It is very simple, and honestly, it's not that hard. You'll see in a few minutes that I had to remove some connections from the board and put them through the grommets because I needed those connections like Type-C and whatnot. But I'm currently removing the AM4 brackets for like the fans that come with Ryzen 7 and less, I believe. But mine is a Ryzen 9, and also I just have a AIO, so I don't need those brackets, and I put them on the other motherboard. Just removing the AIO standoffs so that I'll be able to mount the AIO later on. Little fun fact, the motherboard that's on the right, I actually built my dad a gaming PC with my old components. And it was really cool to actually build an entire PC from scratch and for my dad. So he's been using the old motherboard, the old fans that I used to have from Cooler Master, the old Ryzen 7 CPU, and my old 32 or 64 gigs of RAM I had. It's pretty cool. And it runs really well, and he got a few things for it as well, like a monitor for it and whatnot. So it's pretty cool for him to have a gaming computer that you'd be able to game on. It's very cool. So as you can see, I'm actually struggling with the RAM. I remember going through this process and like, why is this not lining up? I do not want to break this RAM. And I found just another angle and it just worked, but I was very worried I was going to ruin the RAM because when I first got this RAM, the RAM actually just failed on me and I had to get new RAM. I got a warranty for it, as in I sent it off to the company and got a new pair. The same thing as the AIO. I got the AIO from Best Buy and I traveled a long ways away to get it. It was the last one they had, and the AIO LCD failed and it was giving me a triangle, and I contacted Corsair support and they were like, we can diagnose it, or just from what you're giving me, we're more than likely we can just give you a brand new pump. Because I was like, I just want a new LCD then, if it's that. But the person just said he'll give me a brand new one, so Corsair was pretty cool to do that. So since everything is transported, we are now going to stick this in, and we're going to screw it in. Now I had to keep flipping this in and out, trying to connect everything. And I time-lapsed that because my phone died and I wasn't able to record an outro. So pretty much this is going to be the outro. I could record the motherboard in its current state with the 4090 and everything plugged in and working, but I need to dust it, and it's very dusty. I'm not going to show you a dusty computer. It's terrible. And I thoroughly enjoyed making this video just for the ha-has and showing you that I upgraded my motherboard, that it was well needed to be upgraded because it was a couple of years old. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video and the rest of the video that's remaining. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I also have a vlogging and gaming channel. The links will be in the description box below, and you can check it out at the last 20 seconds of this video. Again, I know I keep repeating myself, but I do hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.